did a story about Tiffany Cross yesterday and how she got X from CNN, but somehow or another they still got Scott Lyon Jennings on the show, and how the ratings for CNN are tanking because they're trying to be Fox News light, MAGA light, instead of having real debates about the issues. Now, granted, folks, I know people like drama. I get it. But we're not living in times where drama is working. People are losing freedom. Eventually, if we don't fight, the drama that we see is going to be manufactured from the fascist government that is in control. And I get the attention span and the boredom, but fuck that. We need real journalism. That has been one of the only things that has kept the government honest. And CNN has gotten rid of that. Well, someone who's tried and true to the Black plight, who has families in the Black plight, Bakari Sellers went on with Kevin O'Leary. Some of y'all might know this fake ass. Why did they call him Mr. Wonderful? Because he's rich. Half the problem with America right now is because we give deference to rich people. And some of those rich people aren't even smart. Take the person running the country right now. I guess they call him that because he's made the money. Because other than that, the only thing I see that's wonderful is his fucking hairline is worse than Stephen A. Smith's. But I digress. Wonder Bread. Maybe they should call him Mr. Wonder Bread. But he's a host on Shark Tank. He's from Canada. He's rich. And the perspective that he's going to give in this video is that of a rich person. He interrupts Bakari Sellers over and over. Now, y'all know I love Abby Field. I think the world of her chocolate self. I'm glad that she's been on to get her own show because she, behind the scenes, has put in a lot of work. But I felt like she didn't step in to shut Mr. Wonder Bread up enough, but she did step in and shut up Bakari a couple of times, and Bakari let out a bad word. So I want you guys to take a look at this, and we'll break it down afterwards. Here we go.
So, we're going to start to see, maybe Virginia might try again and create that. Maybe they might try to create an 11-0 map, because now, according to the Supreme Court, you can. We might live in a country where all around the country, we have states where the minority political party has effectively zero representation in Congress.
I think everybody should take confidence in the fact the Supreme Court basically supported one vote, one person, guaranteed in perpetuity. And the rest is just map wars. And I think we should get used to it. And I think it's, as you said, a state-based situation. Add this to the mix. At the end of the day, the state decides at the state level. It's in the Constitution. Get over it.
So the problem with that sentiment is that you were born in 1954.
Yeah.
Okay. You're
Very
70.
popular
You're 71.
Yeah.
Right. In 1954.
By the way, I'm a vampire. I'm never gonna die
during your lifetime, we've actually had Brown v. Board of Education.
I remember.
Yeah, Brown v. Board of Education. I don't know how you remember it. I think you were like 2 months old. But
I'm
not finished yet. Let me finish my thought.
Drill back to 54.
Yeah, because you're still alive, right? And so there's an entire generation of people. Brown v. Board, it overturned Plessy v. Ferguson of 1896. My point is that my mother was born in 1951. She desegregated schools. My father was shot in the civil rights movement. Those people.
Let him finish.
I'm going to finish because you're being utterly disrespectful.
Not at all.
So I'm going to finish this comment. So what I'm telling you is that there are people in this country who fought, died, and bled for the right to vote. Don't be a dick. Just understand.
Okay. Bakari,
just understand.
I'm pointing something out. The Constitution is being upheld. Do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with the Constitution of the United States of America?
Bakari, I'm going to stop you because I just want everybody to reset with a modicum of respect at this table. Please stop.
I want you to understand that there is a price. There's a price that was paid for this right. Mm-hmm. There is a price that we uphold, and whether or not you value that, whether or not you value that or not. There are people who bled, sweat, and died and were imprisoned for access to the ballot box. And what we're seeing throughout the South is that their voice, their vote, their representation, and people who have lived experiences to represent them are not being sent to Congress or where they need to go.
This debate.
Folks, that was such an example of white, rich, entitled people putting their narratives in society that they want people lesser than them to follow. Number one here, Bakari, I get where he was going. I would have took a different tack. So let me go to all the places I would have went. Number one, Kevin O'Leary is saying that the Constitution won over. It's a states' rights issue. Folks, why did we have a civil war? What is the ultimate excuse Republicans love to use for why we should have kept slavery? The Civil fucking War. Was that, slavery. Was that right? No, it wasn't. It was not right. It was part of the constitutional makeup of some of these states, but the federal government had to step in and say no, like they should have done this time. Number two, he does not talk about how corrupt these judges and people are who are interpreting the damn Constitution. What is a prime example Bakari should have said? Virginia. Virginia voted on their new maps as their Constitution says they should do. And what did their Supreme Court say? No. Breaking the fucking Constitution. People, Republicans don't believe in no fucking Constitution. They can't even spell it. They believe in the Constitution when it serves their narrative. But when it comes to abiding by law and order on the Constitution, they don't believe in that shit. Another thing he could have attacked that Abby gave him a layup for. And mind you, Bakari did fine. You could see throughout that exchange, Bakari was starting to go from 2 to a 10. While Kevin has got his hat down like this so that you can't see his eyes, and he don't got to look in the camera and face the music, kind of like white dudes when they be riding around with them dark shades and they'll look you in your face with the shades on, but when their eyes is covered, they can't look you in. When their eyes is not covered, they can't look you in the face. Abby basically talked about how with the way these voting maps and districts are being written now, the minorities don't have a say. What did Kevin say? Well, they have access. Folks, when you say shit like that, you might appease MAGA because they can't get past simple shit like make America great again or lock her up. But people who are educated, we understand that access does not mean it gets you what you need. Like when they tried to get rid of Obamacare, they were saying, well, people still have access to health care. I mean, you can go online to apply for it. That's access, but can you pay for it? No. So having access to vote does not mean that your vote holds equal weight to these other people that's dominating gerrymandering. Come on, man. He could have went that route with it. But the biggest point I'm trying to make about him and the access and Abby talking about how we're getting rid of the minorities, if Democrats got power enough to say all of a sudden we're going to get rid of this electoral college bull jive, we're going to eliminate the minorities vote, what do you think Republicans would do? If Democrats did what these states are doing by getting rid of the voices of the minorities, because if we got rid of the electoral college, flyover country would never win. We would never have another Republican president because that would get rid of the flyover country electoral bull jive. The Republicans, folks, I think the Republicans would go to civil war over that. I mean, honestly, almost the way blue states should do right now. If we got rid of the minority say with the electoral college, Republicans and people like Kevin O'Leary, who's over here singing and shucking and jiving, song and dancing, doing monkey double back flips, putting on their mama's panty draws, would have a cow if Democrats said, we're getting rid of the electoral college. No more minority votes from the flyover countries. They would lose their minds, which shows you just how hypocritical they are. And the other point that nobody makes a lot, there are some that do it. The storyline is how this is hurting Black people, but it's really hurting all people. Because at some point in time, things are going to flip. And those people who chose hate over food on their plate and are willing to give up their rights to a fascist dictator don't realize that you're also now giving up your vote in those same districts. Because what happens when they pick the Republican you don't like? What happens if we have another situation where the parties flip? Oh, did I say that? Because a lot of Republicans love to say Martin Luther King was a Republican. but don't understand why. So I can't take solace in being happy that those same dumbasses are shooting themselves in the foot, because it's hurting all of us as we speak. But at the end of the day, folks, we've got to do something to combat these stupid people like Kevin O'Leary, who get names Mr. Wonderful just because they're rich. And oftentimes they never tell the real story of how they got rich, about how they use the government's money, that's called socialism, but tell me and you not to use the government's money because we would be socialists. Put that into your pipe and smoke it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for me today. Please, please don't forget to like the video.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.